Hi everybody. So today I'm going to talk about a pin that I saw way in passing. It was just like scrolling through pages and I suddenly saw a book that I really love for our kids, and I went, oh, I love that book, and I went to just go like it, and then I saw that it was on a banned book list, and I thought, are you shitting me? Sorry, excuse my language. I just thought, are you kidding me? Like, what is wrong with this book? And then I thought about it and I realized it's about homosexual families, and there are a lot of people in this world who do not support gay families, gay rights, gay anything. So while I do understand why it is banned in some schools, like religious schools and such, I don't think it's right necessarily to ban that, and I think it's ridiculous that we still have book banning, which, by the way, 50 Shades of Grey is banned in some places too. But I wanted to read the book to you because I'm going to show the cover art anyway, so I can't monetize, but whatever. So it is a book called And Tango Makes Three. You guys get to hear my reading voice. It is a little bit of a longer book, so hopefully it won't be too long of a read for you. And you totally don't have to listen, obviously. I mean, you could click off my video if you wanted. In the middle of New York City, there's a great big park called Central Park. Children love to play there. It has a toy boat pond where they can sail their boats, has a carousel to ride on in the summer, and an ice rink to skate on in the winter. Hopefully you can see these pictures. Best of all, it has its very own zoo. Every day, families of all kinds go to visit the animals that live there. But children and their parents aren't the only families at the zoo. The animals make families of their own. There are red panda bear families with mothers and fathers and furry red panda bear cubs. There are monkey dads and monkey moms raising noisy monkey babies. There are toad families and toucan families and cotton-top tamarin families too. And in the penguin house there are penguin families. Every year at the very same time, the girl penguins notice the boy penguins, and the boy penguins start noticing the girls. When the right girl and the right boy find each other, they become a couple. Two penguins in the penguin house were a little bit different. One was named Roy and the other was named Silo. Roy and Silo were both boys, but they did everything together. They bowed to each other and walked together. They sang to each other and swam together. Wherever Roy went, Silo went too. They didn't spend much time with the girl penguins, and the girl penguins didn't spend much time with them. Instead, Roy and Silo wound their necks around each other. Their keeper, Mr. Gramsay, noticed the two penguins and thought to himself, they must be in love. Roy and Silo watched how the other penguins made a home, so they built a nest of stones for themselves. Every night, Roy and Silo slept there together, just like all the other penguin couples. And every morning, Roy and Silo woke up together. But one day, Roy and Silo saw that the other couples could do something they could not. The mama penguin would lay an egg, and she and the papa penguin would take turns keeping their egg warm until finally it would hatch and there would be a baby penguin. Roy and Silo had no egg to sit on and keep warm. They had no baby chick to feed and cuddle and love. Their nest was nice, but it was a little empty. One day, Roy found something that looked like what the other penguins were hatching, and he brought it to their nest. It was only a rock, but Silo carefully sat on it, and sat, and sat. When Silo got sleepy, he slept, and when Silo was done sleeping and sitting, he swam, and Roy sat. Day after day, Silo and Roy sat on the rock, but nothing happened. Then Mr. Gramsay got an idea. He found an egg that needed to be cared for, and he brought it to Roy and Silo's nest. Roy and Silo knew just what to do. They moved the egg to the center of their nest. Every day they turned it, so each side stayed warm. Some days Roy sat while Silo went for food. Other days it was Silo's turn to take care of their egg. They sat in the morning and sat at night. They sat through lunchtime and swim time and supper. They sat in the beginning of the month, and they sat at the end of the month, and they sat all of the days in between. Until one day they heard a sound coming from inside the egg. Beep, 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 it said. Roy and Silo called back. Squawk, squawk, beep, beep, answered the egg. Suddenly a tiny hole appeared in the egg's shell, and then crack! Out came their very own baby. She had fuzzy white feathers and a funny black beak. Now Roy and Silo were fathers. We'll call her Tango, Mr. Gramsay decided, because it takes two to make a tango. Roy and Silo taught Tango how to sing for them when she was hungry. They fed her food from their beaks. They snuggled her in the nest at night. Tango was the very first penguin in the zoo to have 2 daddies. Soon Tango grew strong enough to leave the nest. Roy and Silo took her for a swim, just like all the other penguin families. And all the children who came to the zoo could see Tango and her 2 fathers playing in the penguin house with the other penguins. "Hooray, Roy! Hooray, Silo! Welcome, Tango!" they cheered. At night, the 3 penguins returned to their nest. There they snuggled together, and, like all the other penguins in the penguin house, and all the other animals in the zoo, and all the families in the big city around them, they went to sleep. So this is one of my favorite books. I love it for so many reasons. For one, it's well written, and it speaks well to various ages. It also has a couple of jokes thrown in there for the adults, which is awesome. Takes 2 to make a tango, come on. I think the artwork is pretty awesome. It's not, I mean, it's pretty awesome artwork. And I think the message is amazing. For one, they knew just what to do. I mean, sending that message that just because they're different doesn't mean that they don't know how to take care of kids. You know, that would be awful. So I'm glad that they put in there that they knew just what to do, and you know, they're the same as every other family. They're doing the same things, and they're doing things the same way. It's just 2 daddies instead of a daddy and a mommy, and I just love it. And in the end, how it ties it all together, just like every other family, you know, we go and we snuggle together and we go to sleep, and everybody's doing the same thing, and I just think it's amazing. And I love that it's a true story. This actually happened in Central Park Zoo. I don't know if it's Mr. Gramsci, but anyway, it's a true story, and I love it. It is by Justin Richardson and Peter Parnell, illustrated by Henry Cole. And it's just a fantastic book. Like I said, I know there are quite a few families who this would not fit into their family values, and that's fine for those families, but for us, it fits just perfectly into our family values, so it's one of our favorite books. I also like that it promotes adoption, partly because we had an empty nest that we couldn't fill, and, you know, essentially, we are in that same boat as Roy and Silo, and we were able to fill our nest with other children that came through adoption. So I really like that message as well, that just because these kids didn't have a mommy and a daddy that they could be raised by doesn't mean that they don't have parents of their own. So I love this book. I will link the banned book pin below because I just think that's hilarious. And that's my pin of the day. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.